here we are. It's just about sunset. The sun is setting behind me, and here we're getting ready to go for another run. 365 days without taking a day off. It's the challenge, right? Interestingly enough, it's actually a little warmer this week. It's been a little warmer than it was last week, but still, it's actually kind of a really nice weather. So we're gonna take advantage of that right now. We're gonna go for a nice little run, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. One more day closer to 365 days of running without a day off. This whole concept of running for 365 days without a day off it is truly challenging. The smallest little thing can throw off your schedule, and then you're pushing yourself to, whether it's you're running in the evening at sunset, or maybe you're even having to run at night because you didn't get a chance to do it in the morning. And something might have come up in your schedule that throws everything off, and now you got to get up super early the next day so you can get your run in. And it's kind of interesting. I always told my daughter, since she was about 4.5, 5 years old, I always told her that the minute that you set your mind to do something, you're gonna have things get in the way. You're gonna have things show up. They become these little obstacles. Have you ever set your mind and said, I'm gonna save $500, and then the minute you start saving money, a tire blows out, or your favorite band happens to book a concert in your city, and the tickets are for sale, 50% off, or there's this awesome, sale taking place at your favorite clothing store. Everything's been marked down. The blowout sale, inventory blowout. And you find yourself compromising your goal of saving $500 because you're never going to get the 50% off that you're going to get this week on the blowout sale. And I think part of the reason that we get these little obstacles, these little things that keep us from doing the things that we want. I always say this to her. I went to a Christopher Howard workshop a long time ago, and he did this demonstration on stage. And he said, look, if you stand on one side of the room and you're just standing there and you're not going anywhere, and you look around, there's no obstacles. There's no obstacles. You're just standing there. Nothing is in your way. And that's kind of how life is. If you're just not going anywhere, if you don't have an objective, if you don't have a destination, you're just standing there. And life is passing you by. There's no obstacle to overcome. There's no challenge to do. Nothing gets in the way of you standing there. Because you're just there. And life is passing you by. But if I tell you that if you can get to the other side of to the room where I'm standing, and if you get there, you get $100, right? But there's a table and chairs, and there is a couch in the way, and maybe there's some bookshelves you have to walk around, and maybe there is, some boxes that you have to hop over. Who knows, right? There's a bunch of stuff. Well, all that stuff could have been there when you were just standing on the other end of the room without any objective to get anywhere. And it wasn't an obstacle. They weren't obstacles. They were just stuff that was in the room. You didn't have an obstacle because you didn't have a destination to get to. You didn't have a reason to get to the other side of the room. But once you think that you have a destination, that you want to get to the other side of the room so you can get the $100, you have to figure out a way to walk around the table, maybe crawl under it or get to the other side. Maybe move the chairs around so that you can get through. Hop over the couch, and then hop over the boxes and whatever else, walk around the bookshelf. Those are obstacles that you're overcoming to get to the other side of the room so that you can get your $100. I did this exercise with my daughter, by the way, when she was little. I basically said, if you get to the other side of the room, I'm going to take you out to ice cream. And I threw everything I could think of the couch, the dining table, chairs, boxes, all kinds of stuff in the way. And I said, if you get to where I am by the front door and you make it to where I am, I'll take you out to ice cream. And she was standing by the Arcadia door in the back, in the living room. And she basically like crawled under the table and she moved the chairs around and she like jumped over the couch. And when she got to the other side, I explained to her that all of these were obstacles. They were challenges. And in life, we're going to encounter those challenges the minute we set our mind to do something. Challenges become apparent in our life. I did this exercise with her when she was about 5 years old. Needless to say, we went and got ice cream. And till this day, every now and then we're talking about things and she'll get frustrated with something that she's trying to do and it's not turning out the way she wants it or whatever it is. And I always tell her, hey, it's just an obstacle that you have to overcome. It's just a challenge that you have right now. It's just something that you need to get over so that you can get to your destination of what you're trying to do or where you're trying to get to. It's no different than when you were trying to hop over the couch so that you can get the ice cream, or you did that whole thing in the living room. And in life, I think it's true. It rings true. You basically have to overcome obstacles the minute you set your mind that you want to go somewhere. See, if you lack inertia, if you're just sitting there and life is passing you by and you're not doing nothing, there's no obstacles. But you're also not going anywhere. Your life is stagnant. If your day consists of you sitting on the couch and you're not doing anything to make your life meaningful, you lack inertia, you lack motion. Well, then that means that life is literally passing you. You're not living life. You're just processing oxygen, converting oxygen to carbon monoxide. You're not contributing to the balance of the universe. You don't have a function. And the minute you set your mind to do something and these obstacles get in the way, they're actually there to remind you that you are on a mission, that you have an objective, that you have a plan, that you're trying to get to something. Now, Christopher Howard says that this is the way the universe determines whether or not you're serious about what you want. Because a lot of times we ask questions like, I want a new car, but we don't do anything about it. So guess what? The universe basically reads that as, oh, they're just saying that. They don't really want it. But if you say, I want a new car, and then you start saving money towards it, and then it throws a couple of obstacles your way, and you overcome those obstacles, and they throw another curveball at you, and you overcome that curveball, and you're still saving, and you have your mindset that you're getting a new car, or whatever it is you're trying to do, the universe looks at that energy that you're putting into that effort that you're putting into getting that car, and it says, they really want a new car. Let's help them get it. Let's help her get it. And, that's like an energy thing. I don't know if you believe in the energy side of things, that where you put your energy, things happen, or that there's a universe all powerful that gives you everything you want or anything like that. I don't know what your belief system is, whether you believe in God or angels or not, or maybe your belief system is based on the Tao, and it's all about the general life source energy that balances the entire universe. Whatever it is, whatever your belief system is, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, obstacles show up in everybody's life the minute you set your direction to go somewhere. In a car, if you get in a car and you decide you're going to drive from California to New York, you're going to have detours, You're gonna have signs that are missing, street signs that you couldn't see what the exit was, and you made a wrong turn. You're gonna have challenges to get there. You're gonna run out of gas, and you're gonna have to find a gas station. You're gonna have to get hungry, and you're gonna have to get something to eat. You're gonna have to, stop and figure out where you're gonna use the restroom while you're driving there. But at the end of the day, your destination is New York, and you don't let any of those detours or challenges on the road trip deter you from getting to New York. You get there, right? And that's just kind of how things are. Now, interestingly enough, Christopher Howard in his workshop stated that these challenges, they are the road signs that are reminding us that we are working towards something. The bad weather, the late night that you had to stay out for, and you could, it was hard to get up in the morning to go for your run. Whatever the challenge, the sun was too bright. There was traffic. Your time was constrained. Whatever the challenge was that was keeping you from running for 365 days, the challenges are presenting themselves to show you that you're going in a direction somewhere. That's it. They're road signs. Now, I'm going to take this a little bit farther. Now that we understand that those challenges are road signs that are telling us where we're going, or that we're going somewhere, right? Now I'm going to tell you something a little bit different. I recently had a conversation with my daughter where I explained to her that sometimes we don't need to know where our destination, we just need to know where our destination is. We don't need to know how we're going to get there. We just know that we're working towards what we want. So I'm going to give you the analogy. Here you are, you're in a car, and you're going to drive from California to New York. And you start driving. And then the sun sets, and you're still driving. Right? You're going to drive well into the night, and you're probably going to find a place to get a couple hours of sleep, and then you're going to keep driving, right? It's a long drive. And when the sun sets, can you see that you're going to New York? Can you see New York from where you're at? Probably not, right? As a matter of fact, even in the daytime, you can't see New York. It's not like you look across the way and you see the big sign, New York here, with the big red arrow pointing down, right? You just look at your map and you know you're on the right track because you're looking at the road that you're on, but you're not seeing your destination. You just know you're going to get there. You don't know how. You're just driving and following the directions as you go, but you're going to get there. And then take that a little farther and pay attention to what happens when the sun sets. You can't even see. You can only see maybe 10, 20 meters in front of you. Your headlights can only illuminate so much. And yet you know that your destination is New York. So you don't have to know every detail about the road that you're on. You just need to know that your destination is New York. And you just keep driving. And, with vision of only maybe 20, 30 meters in front of you, you just keep driving. You keep driving, you keep driving, you keep driving. And eventually, you're going to get to New York. Now, if you have 20/20 vision, the farthest distance you can see, roughly, it's about 12 miles. That's if you really got really good eyesight. It's roughly about 12 miles if there's nothing in the way. So if you're in a plain field, you look far, as far as your eye can see. There's no mountains or hills or buildings in the way. Roughly about 12 miles is the absolute longest distance that a person with perfect eyesight can see. Okay? Now, that said, for the average person, it's probably way less than that. It's a lot less than that. But let's say you have the most amazing eye vision and you're driving from California to New York. Even in the middle of the day, can you see farther than 12 miles? Can you see New York? That's 3,000 something miles from California. No, you don't. But you know that you're going in the direction that you're going. And the road signs, those detours, the potholes, the the bathroom breaks, the hungry breaks, the stop to sleep breaks, and all those little challenges that get in the way of you getting to New York when you absolutely want to. Those are all the things that are reminding you that you're on this road trip and that you're going to New York. Okay? So, two things. Challenges and obstacles. They're there to remind us that we're going to in a specific direction of desire. You're going somewhere where you want to go. Okay? We don't have to see every detail of how we're going to get there. We just got to know that we're going there and continue to work in that direction. Eventually, we will arrive. And one last point that I want to share with you. If you get in a car and you 80 miles an hour, just bullet yourself from California to New York, and you stop only when you absolutely have to pee or get a sandwich and get back on the road and drive again until you're falling asleep, and then you sleep for 3 hours, you get back on the car and you drive another 12, 15 hours, and you don't stop nowhere. You only stop to get gas and take care of your bare necessities. Does that sound like a really fun trip? Probably not. It would be exhausting. By the time you get to New York, you need 2 days just to recuperate from all the driving you did and from the lack of sleep and how tired you are. That's not a fun trip at all. So the last point that I want to make, right? Point number 3. Don't bullet yourself from California to New York. In life, part of what makes life amazing is not the destination. It's the journey to get there. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the challenge. Enjoy the day-to-day. When you're running, take a deep breath. Look around. Enjoy the fact that you're doing something good for yourself. When you're reading for 365 days, at the end of your 10 pages or whatever it is that you're reading, take a second. Think about what you're doing. Take a conscious moment and appreciate the fact that you're doing something to better yourself. It is important to remind us why we do things. It is important to remind yourself why you are doing something. Don't just become someone who is responsive to life. Be proactive and remind yourself why you're being proactive about life. Why do you want to be a good parent? Why do you want to be successful in your business? Why do you want, why is it important to have wealth? Why is it important to nurture friendships? Why are these things important? Ask yourself why, and then when you come up with an answer, ask yourself why that is important. For example, it is important for me to be a good parent. Why? Well, because I want my daughter to have all the opportunities that she could potentially have. Why is that important? Well, because I don't want my daughter to have the challenges that I had growing up. Why is that important? Well, because the last thing I want is for my daughter to have limitations in her life. Why is that important? And you just keep drilling. You just keep drilling down, because when you get to like 7 whys, like when you're asking yourself why, and you get to like the 7th why, you're going to find out the true reason why you're doing what you're doing, or why you think you want to do what you're doing. And then you'll be able to evaluate whether that reason is actually worth you putting the effort and the energy to doing what you're trying to do. Look, for me, I'm doing this 365 days of running. I asked myself, is it about losing weight? Sure, that was the very first thing that came up. Oh, I want to lose weight. Why is that important? Well, because I want to be healthier. Why is that important? Well, because, I don't want to be spending my life going in and out of hospitals when I'm older. Why is that important? Well, because I don't want my kid to be stressed out about me going in and out of hospitals when I'm older. Why is that important? Because I don't want to add additional stress to my daughter. Why is that important? Because I want my daughter's time with me to be quality time. I want my daughter to enjoy my company and not just be stressed about her dad being sick. Why is that important? Because I want my daughter to be able to focus on becoming the best person that she can become. Why is that important? Because I want my daughter to be a positive contributor to society. I want her to do good in the world. I want her to find joy in becoming that person. I want my daughter to have all the opportunities that I didn't have. I want to be a better parent. I did that exercise. That's why I tell you guys, the reason why I do these videos is because I want my daughter to have a depository of videos to remind her how much she means to me. To remind her how much I love her. I do these videos because I'm hoping that one day maybe these videos will trigger you to think about something that's so important to you and you go, oh wow, you know what? I have a mission. I hope my message reaches you. I hope that it touches you in a way that it inspires you. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. Take care. We'll see you soon.